Welcome to another episode of How I Edit. It's a series where I take from already great images like this and transform them into a work of art like this. So, stick around. So for this shoot, I used two Canon EX2 speed lights and the STE3 trigger at full power, no modifier. I also used the Canon ADD with 85mm 1.8. My aperture was set at 1.8, shutter speed at 1/3200th of a second, and my ISO was set at 100. So as always, we're going to start out in the Adobe Bridge. I'm going to double click on the image to open inside of Photoshop. So now that we are up and running in Photoshop, I'm going to do a quick evaluation. All right. Got a few pimples on the arm. But besides that, this is going to be a quick and easy edit. So first thing I'm going to do is duplicate the layer. And I'm going to grab the healing brush. I'm going to start removing some of these small imperfections. And there goes the neighbor's truck. So in the interest of time, I'm going to speed up this portion. And we're going to go on to the next step. So for the next step, we're going to apply some skin softening. So I'm going to head over to my actions panel. I'm going to look for my skin softening action. I'm going to hit play to apply that action. Head back over to the layers panel. I'm going to make sure that I'm painting with white. Brush opacity set to 74%, flow at 50%. I'm going to slowly paint over the skin. And what this is doing is blending the skin tones. And there goes my neighbor's dogs. Okay, that looks fine. So what I'm going to do is merge skin softening layer with the layer just beneath it. Okay, I'm going to jump on over to Portrait Pro. I'm going to go to my filters gallery and throw Pix Portrait Pro. So by default, what this software does is it selects the outline of the face automatically and applies some basic softening to the image. But when I use it, I like to, neighbor's dogs are going crazy. I like to remove the default outline that the software creates, and I like to start from scratch. I'm going to do that in just a sec. Okay, so now that we are up and running in Portrait Pro, I'm going to remove the default outline. Click on the X. Yes, I want to delete that. And I'm going to manually locate the face in this image. So I'm going to control click to zoom in. Click here. Click there. reposition these points. It looks good. So I'm going to do the same for the other eye, eyebrow, nose, and mouth, but I'm going to speed up the process. Okay, so not bad. So first thing I like to do is turn on and off the face sculpt. In this case, I'm going to leave the face sculpt on. So I'm going to head over to skin and lighting. I'm going to reposition the light over to the right. And I'm going to take the contrast up a bit. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Alright, that's about fine. So let's go to imperfections. Let's zoom in a bit. Boost this just a bit. Alright, it looks fine. And this process is completely subjective, whatever looks good to you, but it's easy to push it a bit too far. So fine shadows. Remove some pores. Let's go over to the eye and you know what, let's go one step back over the skin softening. Yeah, it's smoothing out some of the imperfections around the eyes. Okay, looks good. Now let's go over to the iris. Let's brighten that up a bit. Also widen the eyes a bit more. I want to add a catch light. Let's go to reflection. Let's add a big beauty dish. Alright, that's fine. Let's reposition. That's about fine. Okay, and that is good. So, an additional thing we can do to this is boost the color of her lips. So let's head over to makeup, lipstick. Let's boost this a bit. So now we're gonna try to match the color. May do a terrible job at this. I'm gonna take my chances with that. Looks fine. Okay, so now we're gonna head back over to Photoshop. So now that we are back in Photoshop, let's have a quick look at the before and after. And as it stands, this image is great, but we're gonna enhance it just a little bit more. So I'm gonna apply some dodging and burning effects to boost the highlights and shadows. So I'm gonna grab my dodge tool. I'm gonna slowly paint over some highlights. And the birds are out. Paying particular attention to the arms. that looks fine. So let's apply some burning. That looks good. And it's easy to go overboard. My exposure is set at 5%, so it's a slow, gradual build up. Of course, I can take it a bit higher. All right, that's fine. So to enhance this a bit more, I'm going to make it a bit punchier. I'm going to apply a LUT in the form of an action. Let's apply teal and orange. Okay, so if you missed it, let me just do a quick before and after. That's without the LUT. That's with the LUT. Made it a bit more punchier. And because we got a lot of blues up here, I am also going to apply the blue boost. Alright, so looks even better, but this is completely subjective. Alright, it's looking fine. So now just to add a little bit more flare, I'm going to add a lens flare. No pun intended. So I'm going to head over to the bridge. I'm going to find my signature lens flare. I'm going to double click to open inside of Photoshop. I'm going to drag it and drop it inside the current project. I'm going to free transform, Control T on the keyboard. I'm going to resize it and position and place exactly where I need it to be. So I'm going to change my blend mode to screen. Screen is going to hide all of the dark pixels. I'm going to reposition it just a bit more. Right there is fine. I'm going to play with the opacity. Looks good, but I'm going to drag it under my color adjustment layers. Alright, it looks fine, and it blends a whole lot better. Quick look at the before and after. And that is it. So thank you for following along this video, and stand by for more. If you like this video and you want to see more of my work, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or visit my website.